So, ladies and gentlemen, the last panel of the day today. I know it's been a long day, but wow. Thank you for hanging around. Have a look at this. We are heading into a totally different arena right now. It's an arena where the stakes are about as high as they can get. It's all in or let's go home. Strap in for a powerhouse 30 minutes or so with Tom and the Pinnacle Panel now. Here's the thing. When Tom got the brief, the Pinnacle Panel, it wasn't like he had to mull over the selection. He knew exactly who to put up here today, and boy, he did not get it wrong. Help me welcome. Now, I've got to get this right because what's up there is not what's over there. So I've got Sahil Bhasin. Please come up. Thank you very much. Who we've got next? Beg your pardon, Josh Morrissey. Up you come. Thank you very much. Give him a round of applause. Paul Schauer, up you come. And Ethan Heade. Thank you very much. Last panel of the day, Tom, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Arthur. Thank you so much. And I would like to make, as I said, thank you, Maria and Panos, for putting on a very authentic event. That's the feedback that we've had today. Would you agree, everyone? Big round of applause to Panos and Maria. And I notice I can't help it. Two of the companies that I do work for, realestate.com and Wingman, sponsors here. I could have 30 or 40 different sponsors. I get reached out all the time, all for the audience. I've got a handful of people. I pick the best products, and I can tell you they are the best products. So I acknowledge our partners, very, very, very good people, and I pick businesses that add value. I pick businesses that add value. Team, I'm really looking forward to this panel because I can relate to, I'm closer, well, I'm much older than all of you, but the truth is that most of my training that I do one-on-one is with people that are writing over $1 million. They're the ones that are able to afford one-on-one work. Ethan, what do you roughly write?
2.5 this year.
Where's your office at?
Clayton.
McGrath?
McGrath Clayton.
Was First National, now McGrath. Okay, Paul, you're in Doreen. You got your own independent brand.
Yeah, I work for myself. I've got an office in Doreen and Kilmore.
Two offices.
Two offices, yep. And I'll do 3 by end of December.
Stand up. Stand up. Let him see you. That's his wife. Don't be shy. Right?
Obviously can't do 2-3 without Em. You're correct what you're saying.
How many kids?
2.
How old?
Nearly 9, nearly 6. Very close.
What time do you get home from work?
It varies. Not as late as I used to. Some nights it's usually 6:30. If it goes past kids' bedtime and I know I'm not going to see the kids, they're not going to see me anyway. No offence to Em, but I'll just keep working and maybe get home at 10:30 or something like that. But I try and only do about 3 of those during the week.
Okay. Yeah. Josh, how many kids?
I've got 3 under 5.
Okay. So let's.
It's busy.
Josh is a good case study because this year he halved his numbers. He went from 4 million to 2 million because he made the decision that he does not want to be in the living room at 6, 7 o'clock at night. He wants to be with his kids. Now, here's the downside. Yeah, big round of, mate. Mate, what do you want to do? You want to be in real estate, estranged from your kids, estranged from your family, unhealthy, right? Like real estate, you know it. I see it. It can suck you in and it can spit you back out. You've got to learn to create boundaries. So you made the decision to pull back, drop money, but build your business, and it is paying off. It is paying off. Revenue starting to go up, even though there's probably going to... You sometimes get a bit of a hit because if you're writing 4 million, Josh, and you go to 2 million, that 2 million was really profitable, extra 2 million, whereas when you're growing the team, you've got to split the fee up with them.
You need another 6 mil.
6 mil, okay. So I want to ask you, do you like being like the manager, principal versus being the deal maker?
CEO over...
Yeah?
Yeah, I do. I really like it. And I think once you've been in business a certain amount of time, you establish all these skills, you know, from growing your own team and EBUs and people in the business. And I think that's just where I've organically just landed anyway. So I think it's although it was the right time for the kids and the family, I think it was the right time for me professionally to do.
What do you
it
reckon? What do you reckon with you in that role now? What can the office write as GCI?
We'll do 14 this year, and the goal will be 18 to 20 in the next 3.
Okay, one of the fastest growing businesses in Australia, but definitely in Canberra, just absolutely smashing it.
Yep.
So Hill, what do you do? What do you write?
This year finishing, it's going to be around 3.8, 3.7, 3.8.
Yeah, mate, I know your story, but tell very quickly, what's your story in real estate? You came here, where were you born?
I was born in Iraq, but we moved to, I was born in India. We moved to Iraq. Dad worked at Al Rashid Hotel. We moved back to India in the Gulf War. We fled Iraq and went to a refugee camp. Then from there came to Australia, started off on a Salvation Army voucher, and then essentially started working my way through. So I started at Hungry Jack's, then I got a job at a local netball centre at Mill Park. Then from there I got recruited to Melbourne City Bars because I was working my arse off, which is one of the best paying sort of recreation centres. And from there they instilled some education into me. So they paid for a Masters of Marketing and a Masters of Business, which really gave me some skills. And then from there I worked in fire engineering. One of the people that, so I went into project management because I was really into construction. Then one of the people that we used to contract to said, listen, would you like to do what we do, or I need some more work essentially. And I went and wrote tenders for them. And we got that company from 2 staff to about 35 when it then sold, Roscon. So we used to do all fire engineering and cladding reports. And then while we were doing them cladding reports, one of the developers that we used to work for said, I don't know how much you make doing what you do, but no one really, in Northcote back then, Northcote wasn't trendy 5-6 years ago, said, do you want to sell apartments, Marshall White, etc. Don't want to come out here. There's only 17 odd apartments. I said, I'll give it a go. I didn't have any kids at that stage. And it was just a complete fluke in 2021. He landed all the marketing and everything on my doorstep, and then 17 apartments sold in 7 weeks. And I said, what do you want me to do? He said, you'll be fine. Just go out there and sell these apartments and work it out and explain the construction methodology in your background. And it worked really, really well. And from there, we've just been working after developer, and residential sales obviously forms a big part of the mix as well. But utilising some of the skills that you learn in different aspects of each business, whether it's Roscon in the commercial side of things, the education that you do, how to build your own brand, how to implement your social media strategy side of things, how to grow a team, how to recruit staff. Everything has now fallen into place where I think that I'm pretty fortunate where what we've achieved in around 5 years now, many take a lot longer to sort of achieve. So
yeah,
we've got a property management business as well, which is pretty
the stories of similar to Sahil's, and I mean Ethan's. When did you come to Australia, Ethan?
2007.
2007. What jobs did you have in Australia before you started doing real estate?
My first job was working in Woolies as a grocery assistant.
So, like, what putting stuff on the shelves?
Putting stuff on the shelf, make sure the stock is presentable.
How long did you do that for?
6 years during my uni degree and master degree.
So you were studying, you're working in Coles, you do that for 7 years, you get into real estate, mate. It's $2.6 million. Listen, I know people that have been brought up in really wealthy families, gone to the best private schools, and they do a fraction of what this man writes, and they were born and bred in this beautiful country of ours that just don't take advantage. And all I can put it down to is that, like that great TikTok video I saw Anthony Robbins talk about, good times create soft people create bad times create strong people create good times. And if you really sit that through, you'll see that the way that you see the world, the way you've brought up. And it doesn't surprise me when I see so many people of Indian heritage or coming from, China or other countries do so well because they get a taste of what's available, the possibility, and they compare it to a life away and they think this is too good to be true. Ethan, what's your model? You're the listing agent. You've got your great business partner here, Jason, that's in the room, right? But your EBU, I want to focus on your EBU. What's your business model? Like it's you and who else?
So I've got 5 people in my team. Myself, the listing agent. I just recruited one of my competitor in the area. So his name is Peter Laspis.
Yeah.
Just joining me. So he's doing listing and selling with me. And I've got another 3 buyers agent. So the manager's doing prospecting around my own listing and do all the buyers work, open for inspection, follow-up calls, vendor report, everything.
Okay, who has the hard conversations with vendors?
At this stage, myself.
Okay, so you list, you're the vendor manager, they do the buyer work. When they get an offer, if it's not an auction property, they get the offer from the buyer?
They get an offer from the buyer, then I will present the offer.
Do you speak to the buyer?
Well, if they need me to speak to the buyer, I will. But majority of the time, I don't speak to the buyer.
Okay, beautiful. Paul, how many people, your EBU I want to focus on. What's your model?
I've just got myself and one other. We're running really lean. We're probably on the limiter at the moment, but yeah, the 150 was just myself and one other person, Stacey.
Stacey, is it?
Yep.
What does Stacey do? What's her job?
I mean, she'd come in as a PA, but I don't think it would be fair to call her a PA anymore. She's kind of stepped up more to an associate sort of a role. She won't go to... Every now and then she'll go to a listing presentation by herself, but very rare. But we go to every single market appraisal together without fail. We nominate which properties I'll do callbacks on and she will. Granted, she'll do 75%.
Are you at separate properties or you're at as opens together?
We've got too many to do together.
Okay, so you do callbacks, she does callbacks.
Yep.
Sorry to put on, I'm curious, how do you remunerate someone in that role? I know, is she here?
No,
We can talk about it.
And it's a good question, and it's only something that we've recently changed after, I don't know if many people here know Matt LaHood. I reached out to Matt and we had a conversation because I wasn't sure myself on the best way to go about that, because you always worry that when you get a good person on that's got a great work ethic and they're good at their job, you worry about them going elsewhere. I've upped her base pay far above the award. She's paid an incentive commission based on what we write as a collective. So if I go and list and sell something off market in 24 hours and it's a good fee, that still goes towards our pool as a collective.
Does she for that collective, does she get paid that monthly or at the end of the year?
No, it's actually her base pay, we agreed that goes up to $1 million in GCI. So for her base, we feel we're comfortable that for what she's being paid as a base, gets me $1 million in fees collectively.
Okay, so you start making money after $1 million.
After we write $1 million in a financial year.
How does that? What do you pay then?
We just have trigger points. So 75,000 over the 1 million, she'll get $5,000. Then when we do another 80,000, she'll get 10, 15, 20,
Got
25. It. So she'll make 160 this year with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Josh, your EBU, has your EBU also got smaller in number of people with the change?
Pardon me. Yeah, we're overstaffed at the moment, so we're pretty much so we've sat at about 4 mil for the last 5 years, GCI, and that consisted of myself, my EA Nikki is also a licensed agent, so she can list and sell. So if she wants to save some holiday money, she can jump on the tools, and she's more than willing and able to sell. So I incentivise her with that. And then I've got 2 associates who are essentially, sales associates / buyers agents. They're on good bases, and they'll get remunerated depending on their skill level. So if I've got an associate who's got 12 months experience, he'll generally sit on just a flat base. He's got to earn his stripes for sort of 6 months, 12 months. He's got to bring business in. Then he'll get a clip of the ticket every time he sells. And then if they're a more experienced associate with 2-3 years experience, they'll be on a heavy base and a high split of the sale. It's just like a shoot and kill model, but it just allows, essentially, I only list and sell. So I don't do any campaign management. Nikki runs all the operations in the background. The associates will do a little bit of admin in the background, but essentially it's just a shoot and kill model with 4 licensed agents.
What's your model, Sahil?
My model is just one associate that helps do inspections. I've got 2 young kids, so I don't really want to be out at 6 o'clock at night doing inspections. I blend in a lot of off-the-plan work, so I can do that on Saturdays and also during the week by appointment, which is great for me. We've got a VA as well, and between property management and sales, I've been sharing a full-time admin assistant, which is great. And I probably need to get a lot better at the system behind the scenes and speak to someone like yourself to take it forward, because at the moment it's just been myself that's been driving that business. But the next stage of that is I really want to grow it. But because I've never really worked for a larger brand or any other agency before, I've got no idea how it's done.
Who manages a team here? Can I get a show of hands? 1, 2, 3, okay. Team, I've just got to. If you had 4 or 5 basic things into your EBU, one of it is have a great work in progress meeting that runs for 5 minutes in the morning. Some people call it a directions meeting. Talk about carried forward from yesterday. What are today's priorities? What appointments have we got today? Who's going to confirm today's appointments are going on? Then we talk about what's becoming unconditional, what's settling today, what prospecting are we doing? Is there anything else we need to know? Bang, let's get to work. At the end of the day, you have an accountability group, and I have that. I have it with everyone. I've got it with Teslan. They have an accountability group. Teslan's weekly, but I've got a lot of people who are daily. I want calls, connects, maps, number of market appraisals, that's what MAP stands for, BAPs, number of buyer appointments that are done, and a final score, energy. 10 is the highest, 0 is the lowest. I've got to tell you, if you bookend your day like that, you'll have a team that's measured, they're moving, what you measure, you manage, and what gets scheduled gets done, right? Those simple, basic things will make a significant difference. And for many of you sitting in this room, don't think, like now we're lucky, we've got things like Wingman that'll give you an assistant at a third of the price. I've got one myself, right? A third of the price. There are no excuses for you not sticking to the main thing, which is list, sell, negotiate. I want to ask your best tips on recruitment. Best tips on recruitment. What do you do to try and recruit? I mean, I know that it's an ongoing battle, but who wants it? Josh?
I think you attract what you create. So I think it's really important to create the business and the culture outwardly to the market so that the people that are looking for a job can see you clearly. But I think, you attract what you create. So we're really big on that at Hive, making sure that, that the business is seen for what it is and that the right talent comes to us.
Anyone else?
Oh, look, recruitment's difficult. Everyone here would have heard of the no dickhead policy, the clear sticker on the window that no one can see. Maybe mine's a little bit too big. We're at 12 staff. I think we got up to 16. We let a couple go. We've had a couple move on purely just moved on the other side of town. But I feel like we're in a little sweet spot at the moment with our staff. I'm not out there trying to poach. I've had some conversations with people. I find that in a really hot market, you've got no chance of getting another agent across from anywhere because they're flying. And in a really tough market, it can also be difficult because they're shit scared to leave anyway, because if they're not doing well where they've been, why do they think something's going to change elsewhere? It's not easy to get an agent across in any part of any market. But I'm probably not the best to speak to about recruitment because I'm not out there trying too hard these days to...
How'd you get you picked up a rider that was riding 700-800, you just mentioned him before. How'd you get him? Ethan?
I guess I believe good people attract good people. People actually can see what are you doing. I always deliver I share the right value in the market. Don't do shifty things, never attack your competitor. If you lose a listing, just lose a listing, that's it. Move on. Then you actually will get the respect from your competitor.
Talking about losing listings, you got to be honest. There are days that you lose a listing, you have an argument at home, one of your staff that already gives you the shits that you don't want to be there says something that gives you the shits even more, right? And it's just not going good, right? I want to talk about the days that you blow head gaskets, the days that you have 2-3 shit days.
I'm guilty of it affecting me. I just am. I think anyone in this room would... If a deal falls over, I'm head fucked. Honestly, it's something I need to work on. Maybe that... Yeah, it just does. Like if sometimes if I miss a listing, depending if I wanted it, it won't bother me. But if I miss one I really wanted, or a deal falls over, and you know that you don't have a backup buyer, you know the conversations you're going to have with your vendor, it just sucks, and it does affect me more than it probably should. And then all of a sudden you get a text and you get a listing, and I'm up and about. You know, like I've just got real estate bipolar. You're just up and down. But I think that's just natural with everyone.
Yeah.
I think if anyone, it's easier said than done to say, oh, forget about it. You try and move on quick enough. Sure, when you go home and give the kids a cuddle in bed, it solves all your problems, but it's hard. It's an emotional roller coaster, this job. You just got to learn to ride it.
The listing
Sahil?
side of things, I'd say, isn't that hard. Like, I really move on. Like, I've come from Iraq and, lived in a refugee camp. So if anyone thinks it's hard, I'll give you a one-way ticket to India and you can see how hard it is. We've got it very easy. So for me, like, I even tell Rosemary all the time. She's like, oh, I've spoken to this person. They're saying this. I'm like, just fucking move on. Like, I couldn't care less. Like, for me, the more balls you have in the air, like, we've got X many listings, you've got this many offers. If you can't sell it, work with a vendor on the price. There's so many things you can do, but I really move on quickly. If we don't get a listing, I couldn't care less and move on to the next one.
I'm trying. You guys make, all of you individually make twice as much plus the Prime Minister of Australia. That's a fact. I know your numbers. Everyone knows your numbers now. It's amazing. But what pisses you off about real estate?
Time.
Time?
Yeah, I think time. And I think I was just going to add to, that was really funny, but I was just going to say, controlling the controllables, like the things that help me sort of get through and, get through those days is I learnt Stoicism. So for those who haven't read it, get into Marcus Aurelius, get some perspective like Sahil. But I think what pisses me off is time, and you can't control that. It's the time that it takes away from your family. It's the time that it takes away from your health. I ended up in hospital twice last year because I pushed my body to the absolute limit and ended up, really unhealthy and in hospital. So I think just time and what it can take from you. But I guess you've got to be the controller of that, and I think you've got to take control of where you allocate your time, and that comes back to you, and it comes back to your perspective. But I'd say time, personally.
What pisses you off, Paul?
Look, different things. What is everyone think I'm going to come out with something? What pisses me off? Well, it's from two different angles. One thing that pisses me off the most is agents that publicly talk about the fees that they earn. I hate it. It should be banned. That's why everyone hates our guts. Everyone in the industry is like, oh, why does everyone hate us? Let's try and improve the perspective that people have got on real estate agents. Yet you'll blast all over your Instagram stories that I've earned this, this and this. I can't stand it, and I'll block anyone that does it. I understand that you talk about fees in a training environment. We're all agents. We can talk about the fees here a little bit. But when you're public about it and you're vendors...
So the showing off the affluence...
I can't stand ego. It drives me nuts. It's fine in a training environment. I'm iffy whether or not companies should give awards out for GCI, because then it just allows those people to put it over their social platforms, and it's not a good look. So how are we ever going to get past the look to the public if we keep doing that? Like, it's just got to stop. But internally, real estate, what else pisses me off? I just hate, it's just an emotional roller coaster, Like, you can build a relationship with a vendor for 3 years and all of a sudden it goes on the market with someone else because they got to meet the wife that day and I never fucking met her out of the 5 times over. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you go to a market appraisal and you speak to one of them and I'm the decision maker, they don't need to be here, I'm interviewing everyone. And then you get the, my husband really liked them. I didn't get to meet your husband, but we've been talking for 5 years, good chat. Like, people will burn you so quick in this job, and again, it's just the ups and downs, you just got to ride the wave. Don't trust anyone. Everyone is out, honestly, I just don't trust anyone. Everyone is out to get you. Yeah. I'm just being dead set. It's a hard job, yeah.
All righty.
This is a mini rant.
I think the respect...
Go on, Sahil.
No, I was just saying the respect thing's probably the hardest for me. So working from, say, a council environment to an environment where I was a consultant and paid by the hour, where people call you as soon as your phone you pick up the phone, there's a clock that automatically starts going, and when you hang up that phone, you have to allocate that call to someone. So you're getting billed out at $600 an hour, and it's getting billed, and you have that person's got a respect for you. So when you call as a real estate agent, people say no, bang. That's probably one of the hardest things for me. And then the other thing is, time away from family. So having 2 young kids and dedicating, like we've now put, I'd probably spend over 150 grand on not being able to do opens, have people for Saturdays, hire an associate, do X, Y, and Z, just so I can get time back. And allocating like now every half an hour in your diary is probably the biggest thing. Like that's really important to me. So I can get fitness going in the morning. Like yesterday I went and saw Julia's end of year school concert. Like that's worth more when you then make some of the income. It's worth more than 100 grand. Like watching her sing LOVE, I love you, and point at me. That's amazing. So that's great.
Team, this is real life, gang. This is real life. Want to ask, managing team. Let's talk about very briefly, top tips on managing team members, whether it's an associate, whether it's a wider, anything that you've learned that works or doesn't work. Ethan?
I always set a target, frequent communication, meet with the team every single week, and provide solutions.
Okay. When you meet with the team, it's individual or in groups?
Individual.
So you have one-on-ones?
One-on-ones, yes.
Okay, anyone that wants to get better at growing teams, I've got to tell you, just do one thing only. Just do one thing only. It took me, this was basically my master's in coaching psych was on this subject, which is the GROW model. That's more or less what it was. Just go to YouTube, type in GROW model, learn it, study it, buy every book there is, because I've got to tell you, the minute you learn that, you're learning the skill that the ASX CEOs are trained on. How to run quality one-on-ones. It becomes a methodology, and pretty much my whole life is just using the GROW model. No one knows that I'm doing it, but I'm just on default. G stands for goal, R stands for reality, O stands for options, W stands for wrap up, and it's a very forward, solution-focused meeting that gets people to drop their self-limiting beliefs and to actually be solution-focused. Best tips for managing people, anyone else? Sahil, then we go to Josh.
Yeah, implementing them one-on-ones, and I do it with a whole property management team, with our head of department. She's got it with all the property managers as well. There's a lot of models like that out there in councils and things. They use this PDR, Performance Development Review model, where you clearly document, having one-on-one meetings is one thing, but being able to then measure that on the metrics where you've got your values listed. You discussed at the outset what your KPIs were going to be, what our values were going to be, what your commitment was going to be for events and functions that we were going to hold, et cetera, et cetera. You've got 8 pages of metrics on there. And if you quickly skim through that, that person really knows if they're on target or what they need to do without you even saying anything. So that's one thing. And having clear KPIs for that person is probably when you get busier and busier, I would say, is you don't want phone calls. So the more your phone rings, if it's a buyer, it's great news, but the more and more your staff are ringing, that's the more unorganised you are, because you haven't stayed up at night and given them directions for the next morning. You haven't been direct with them in the morning and given them directions on what to do. So I think having real clear instructions and KPIs would be my one.
All right. So team, I've got to let you know, we've just sat through the last half an hour seeing real life agents that were once emerging agents. They then stayed in the business. What you don't realise, them and every other person that writes the big numbers, you need to understand one thing. Before this, they worked more hours. Would you all agree your hours are now lower than the earlier stages? Maybe Ethan, because you've launched the new business, the last week is not the best time to talk about it because it's this week, right? But
definitely.
Would you all agree that as time goes by, right, you get on the map, you begin to realise we're not going to lose our house, and all of a sudden people ring you more and life gets easier.
Yeah, and you can pick and choose as well. Now, people were talking about REA and Ignite things that come through like constantly, because I sell a few apartments that are off the plan but they're at a higher value. You get so many of them Ignite leads every single day coming in. So you do get to pick and choose on what you work with. I guess Comfortably, I can say that. But it's, that's...
Paul?
Yeah. It's different now, but I don't work there anywhere near the hours I used to. But just piggybacking off one thing I want to talk about, maybe I might be able to add a bit of value here based on some of the other things I said. And off the emerging group, I can't remember what someone said it in the emerging group, that they go home at sort of 3 or 4 o'clock on a Saturday. Here's a few prospecting tips, and I don't even like using the word prospecting. In our office, we call it making friends. Prospecting is a very robotic word. You're just out there to make a friend and nurture a relationship over time. The biggest thing that I felt early in my career that got me to where I am, Saturday was the best day of prospecting or making friends. The reason why is because everyone's happy on a Saturday. For the normal person that owns a home, they don't usually work on weekends. It's the first of their second day off. They're happy because tomorrow is also a day off. Fridays and during the week, they're busy, so they're under the pump. Saturday afternoons after your open homes are the best times to knock and call because everyone's in high spirit because it's the first day of their weekend. Your cut through is 1,000% better than a weekday. So rather than go home straight after opens on a Saturday, make 2 hours of phone calls. It'll be the best 2 hours of phone calls you've ever made in your life. Another tip, Facebook and Instagram. Another thing I used to do is I just jump on CoreLogic, scan around, find some cracking homes, find the owner's name, find them on social media, make a joke and say, hey, listen, I'm sure you don't really want another letter in your letterbox, but here I am on social media, break the ice, and they like it.
Yeah,
They just contacted me through social media. So sometimes I get bored of my core area, so I just go to Plenty, for example, around the corner. Wow, what a cracker. Oh, I found them on Facebook, it's got to be them. Send them a direct message on Messenger and say, hey, I know, are you the owner? Yes, you are. I'm sure you don't want another drop in your letterbox like every other bunny, but here I am. And they love it. It's a soft approach. And the third thing I still do it, is I leave handwritten cards in letterboxes, and all I say is, your house is a cracker. Would love to have a look through one day. That's it. Your house is a thumper. Your street presence is off the charts, Paul. That's it. They'll just ring you saying, you know what I mean? You just got to do things a little bit out of the norm.
Perfect. Could I get you to bring that slide up? Thanks. Team, Manos and Maria were very kind enough to host me and Madeline in Crete earlier on this year. And I said to Manos, I'll come over. I'm not, I don't want a speaker's fee. I want to come over and, spend time. And you're wonderful people. I want to thank you so much. Madeline was just, she wanted to come here today, but she's working. And you've done an amazing event. I want to let you know, next year, Real Estate Gym 2025 has moved into monthly accountability. So at the end of every month, we jump on. I have a number of people. John McGrath is actually joining as a co-coach every month at the end of the month. Calls, connects, appointments. Yes, I'm selling, but listen, I actually think to myself, $650, monthly accountability, right? And the opportunity to actually end up being people that write big numbers, $650 a year, or you can pay it monthly, $65 a month. We're taking members now, and you can train for free till January the 1, and we've got so much content in there. Take a photo of that. That'll take you to the Real Estate Gym. I want to also let people know, if you're still at work, this is what you should do the last 2 weeks. Number 1, you should actually get a video done, summary of the market, shoot it in 2 minutes, and then send that out to your database and say, this is what happened in the market. Number 2, you can go onto your council website. You can actually get their newsletter that they have, what's been happening. You actually use that as your script, and you can actually do a community newsletter. The third thing that I think you should be doing right now is rushing very hard using that script about the list now, launch on Boxing Day or over Christmas. And then we do a proper launch in the new year. Try and sign up as many listings so when you come back to work, you've got stuff. You let the handbrake go and you're off and running. And in addition to that, I've got to say 100% the best $1,000 you could do is go buy yourself 50 bottles of red wine, cut a deal with someone, and then just go visit people with your wine. Hey, didn't want to send you a Christmas card. I want to thank you so much. Have a great break. You matter to us. I appreciate you. That would be a good use of time. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause to our Pinnacle Panel. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, guys.
Outstanding, guys.
What a powerhouse of performers we've had, obviously with our Pinnacle team and our emerging talent. I think any one of us could sit here and write a list of all of the elements that we've taken away from both of those sessions. And of course, Tom's insights that he peppered throughout those 2 sessions there, absolutely invaluable.